Part, and this is your first chapter. What is democracy? So students, this is your political science book. You can see democratic politics first. This is the textbook in political science for class 9th. You can see I am starting this part. So first is, what is democracy? You have already read about different forms of government. On the basis of your understanding of democracy so far, mentioning a few examples, write down some common features of democratic governments and non-democratic governments. I will show you in flowchart the democratic government and non-democratic government and what are the different forms of government in the last in this video. Why define democracy? Before we proceed further, let us first take note of an objection by Mary. She does not like this way of defining democracy and wants to ask some basic questions. Her teacher, Matilda Lingodeau, responds to her questions as other classmates join the discussion. Mary: Ma'am, I don't like this idea. First we spend time discussing democracy and then we want to find out the meaning of democracy. I mean, logically, shouldn't we have approached it the other way round? Shouldn't the meaning have come first and then the example? Lingodeau: Madam, I can see your point, but that is not how we reason in everyday life. We use words like pen, rain or love. Do we wait to have a definition of these words before we use them? Come to think of it, do we have clear definition of these words? It is only by using a word that we understand its meaning. Mary: But then why do we need definitions at all? Lingodeau: Madam, we need a definition only when we come across a difficulty in the use of a word. We need a definition of rain only when we wish to distinguish it from, say, drizzle or cloudburst. The same is true for democracy. We need a clear definition only because people use it for different purposes, because very different kinds of governments call themselves democracy. Rebuying: But why do we need to work on a definition? The other day, you quoted Abraham Lincoln to us. Democracy is government of the people, by the people and for the people. We in Meghalaya always ruled ourselves. That is accepted by everyone. Why do we need to change it? Lingodeau: Madam, I am not saying we need to change it. I too find this definition very beautiful. But we don't know if this is the best way of defining unless we think about it ourselves. We must not accept something just because it is famous, just because everyone accepts it. Yolanda: Ma'am, can I suggest something? We don't need to look for any definition. I read somewhere that the word democracy comes from a Greek word demokratia. In Greek, demos means people and kratia means rule. So, democracy is ruled by the people. This is the correct meaning. Where is the need to debate? Lingodeau: Ma'am, that is also a very helpful way of thinking about this matter. I would just say that this does not always work. A word does not remain tied to its origin. Just think of computers. Originally, they were used for computing, that is to say calculating very difficult mathematical sums. These were very powerful calculators, but nowadays very few people use computers for computing sums. They use it for writing, for designing, for listening to music, and for watching films. Words remains the same, but their meaning can change with time. In that case, it is not very useful to look at the origin of a word. Mary, ma'am, so basically what you are saying is that there is no shortcut to our thinking about the matter ourselves. We have to think about its meaning and evolve a definition. Lingadu ma'am, you got me right. Let us get on with it now. So here, students, you can see here is the conversation of the teacher and among the some students. Here the name of teacher is Lingadu ma'am and the student's name is Mary, Ribiang and Yolanda, etc. So students are saying that why do we need to understand the definition of the democracy? Why should we study about the definition of democracy? So ma'am is trying to explain them why it is necessary, and you can see the students are saying the democracy is we can say from where the definition is coming from, just like Yolanda, that demokratia in Greek demos means people and kratia means rule. So democracy is the rule by the people. So ma'am was telling that no, it is not correct sometimes, because the origin of the word cannot perfect for in every condition, just like a computer. In first, computer were started for the calculating of the difficult mathematical problems, but now we can do everything on the computers, and we can writing, designing and listening music, everything we can, watching movies, etc. So Mary was agree to her, and here is the simple definition of the democracy. Let us get back to our discussion on similarities and differences among governments that are called democracies. One simple factor common to all democracies is the government is chosen by the people. So you can see here, students, you can see here that the democracy means a simple and a perfect meaning is that the government is chosen by the people and for the people. So here is the simple meaning of the simple definition of the democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. So students, I will show you the meaning of democracy, different forms of government, and here the democratic government and non-democratic government in the last page of this video. So students, see and write down in your fair copy.